Hello, this is a presentation for Roslyn's Gapminder World. What is Gapminder? Gapminder is a tool developed by Hans Rosling to analyze the growth and wealth of nations over the years. This is a picture of Hans Rosling, the inventor of Gapminder. The trends I'm going to analyze through Gapminder today are: number 1, life expectancy; number 2, the ratio of girls to boys in primary and secondary education, ages 15-24, versus the ratio of young literate females to males, again ages 15-24, and number 3, adults with HIV per income per person. The countries that I'm going to analyze are the United States, India, Ecuador, China, and South Africa. Now, if we come here, this is the first Gapminder I did, and this one is for life expectancy for all these countries, and we're going to start in the 1960s. The 1960s, as you can see, they're all growing. Life expectancy is higher, is up. And now, if I put play here, you can see that it still grows throughout the years. Up until 2013, where every single country that I am analyzing has growing life expectancy. So if we return to the presentation, this analysis that I made, we have here the United States. In 1960, the life expectancy was 70 years, and in 2013 is 79, so it's not very high, the growth. Still, like 1960, 70 years was very high, so it's not so much of a impressive growth. In India, on the other hand, the 1960s, the life expectancy was very low, 42 years old, and in 2013 it's 66, which is still a little low, but it has grown considerably compared to the United States. And in Ecuador, again, 1960 was pretty low, 53 years old, and by 2013 it's 76 years, so it's pretty much comparable with the United States right now, so Ecuador is pretty much good. In South Africa, its 1960 was 49, and in 2013 is 57, which is the lowest one. Like many African countries, South Africa has a low life expectancy, as you can see. And China in the 1960 has 51 years, and 2013 75, which is again comparable to the United States, so it's pretty high. So you can see life expectancy in around the world has grown, in some countries more than others, like Ecuador and China, that are called developing countries. I'm sorry. But a country like South Africa and India has still low life expectancy. The second Gapminder I did was comparing the ratio of girls to boys in primary and secondary education to the ratio of young literate females to males, ages 15-24. So we started in the 1990s. And throughout 2010, you can see that is also growth in all the countries. So let's see how this compares with numbers. So the United States in the 1990s, the ratio of girls to boys, the ratio of young literate females to males is 100%, and in 2010 is the same, and we have no data of the ratio of girls to boys in primary and secondary education. In Ecuador, we have pretty high. In 1990s, 100% versus 99%, and 2009, 101 versus 100. In India, we also it has grown a lot. 1990s, 69 versus 66, and in 2006, which is the latest data, we have 90% versus 84. So it has grown considerably, and these numbers show us that India has grown considerably for education to girls, because in India is a country that is not very known for gender equality, but this data shows that it has made some progress. In China, it's also pretty high. In the 1990s, it's 85 versus 94%, and in 2009, it's pretty much everyone, 105% versus 100%. In South Africa, it's pretty high. 1990s is 103% versus 100, and 2007 is 99% versus 101%. So it's pretty much everyone. Considering that South Africa is also what we call a developing country, it's very impressive that it has this ratio of literal female women. The last Gapminder I did was adults with HIV per income per person. So let's see. Again, this is from 1979, and many countries start appearing afterward. In 1979, we just have Ecuador and the United States here. And we put play. United Kingdom appears, India appears, Ethiopia, and China. So there's not much data in these countries like others. It's a little bit blank between these years. As you can see, not many countries appear here. And if we see the numbers, we have in the United States in 1979, 0.032% of people was infected with HIV, adults, and the income per person was 30,383%. In 2011, we have 0.6% people is infected with HIV, and the income is $49,854. In China, we just have numbers for 2011. We don't have any data previous to that, and we have in 2011 0.06% of people infected with HIV, and the income is $10,041. In Ecuador, in 1979, we have 0.014% and an income of $8,913, and in 2011 we have a 0.4% and $9,569 of income. In India, we have 1990s 0.1% of people is infected, and the income is $1,771. And in 2009 is 0.31% of people is infected, and $4,189 is the income. Ethiopia has, in 2009, 1.7% of people is infected, and $968 is the income. And in 2011, we have 1.4% of people infected with HIV, and the income is $1,150. I put Ethiopia here instead of South Africa because South Africa didn't have any data of HIV people. So if you can see, the United States has grown, not is still a low number, a low percentage, but it has grown from 1979 to 2011 of people infected, and the income has also grown. China, we don't have any numbers to compare, but it's also pretty low number. Ecuador has also grown, but the income grown not as much as the United States. It has grown, is a little bit. The percentage is also low. The India is the one that has grown the most. In 1990, India had 0.1, and now in 2009, 0.31% of people was infected. So it has grown, and the income has also grown. And Ethiopia, curiously, Ethiopia has decreased a little bit. It had 1.7 in 2009, and in 2011 it had 1.4, and the income has also grown, showing that in Africa it has also been progress against HIV. It's a little percentage, it's a little decrease, but it still is noteworthy to show. So that's the presentation. That's some of the things that you can do in Rosley's Gapminder World. Some of the data I collected, which shows you that not everything is bad, not everything is wrong in the world. You know, this data shows that many countries that are considered poor or developing actually have many favorable numbers for them. in life expectancy, in gender equality, in education, and in HIV infection. So the numbers are not as bad as they might seem, and as not as far as the ones that of developed countries like the United States. So this is a very informative data to show you that the world is not that bad. Thank you.